When I got Cara 2 years ago, I was an extremely stressed, skinny, nervous, and very difficult horse. Her body condition was awful. She had no muscles and no fat. She was really stressed, and while jumping, she had only done 13 shows in her life. Now we are jumping 125 classes on a regular basis. She's an amazing horse with a huge heart, but when I got her, she wasn't really like that. Now her flat work, she can work relaxed, and I can actually do sitting trot and transitions on her. When I got her, she was just leaping around like this all the time. And keep in mind that the first year and a half I kept her at home and I had no access to any arenas, and to this day I still just had a handful of trainings, like lessons on her, and it's just the last 6 months that we
Amazing horse. Her body condition has improved tremendously. It's taken so much time to get weight on a stressed horse because she was using all of her energy jumping around like this. It was impossible to work her on the flat, and some days she would just refuse to jump as well and just leap around in circles instead. The flat work was the biggest difficulty for us. She would just go like this, and now she goes like this. It's been a thrilling journey, and just being able to actually do transitions on her is like the biggest step. Before, she would never even walk after we trotted. She would often take pulls down because she was rushing so badly, and she didn't really focus on the jumps. She didn't focus on anything except being stressed, which often caused issues. Now she's actually thinking, and I'm able to ride her thoroughly, and she's actually working and relaxing in her body under saddle. She also had moments like this. She would leap out of the arena, and now she's just flying around, no problem at all. She is still a hot-headed horse, but she has a heart of gold. I took a shot in the dark with buying her unseen. The horse that stepped off the trailer was so different from the one you see here. When I disclosed online that I was buying her, people was bombarding me with messages saying what kind of horse I bought, like people who knew her in real life. Said that the horse I bought was crazy, unrideable, really not suited for competing because she was just so stressed and she wasn't able to focus on anything. I know that she was a troubled horse with a troubled past, and I don't think she ever really had anyone who understood her. It's taken so much time, but when she started trusting me, it's just been the biggest change ever. Like, I can really recognize her. I don't think people can ever imagine how she was to ride before. You just had to hang on and hope for the best. Now you can actually sit down and you can do sitting trot, you can work her, you can do transitions. You can feel the horse being relaxed underneath you. That was not the horse that stepped off the trailer dark night in May 2016. I am so happy that I made a choice to buy her, even though it was unseen, even though she was skinny, malnourished, inexperienced, stressed, and the first few months with her, we basically just went up or sideways. She's a difficult horse, and she still is to this date, and it's been so difficult just to get weight and muscle on her, because when your horse is stressing so badly, it's not easy to make them gain weight and muscle. But she's always been a true superstar with a huge heart. At shows, she really is in her right element. She loves jumping. And I know people think that she's not suitable for jumping because she is so stressed sometimes. But it's just, the feeling of jumping her can't be described. You have to feel how happy and excited she is underneath you, and she just want to go to the jumps. And I think that's the biggest thing that makes her so good, because even though she's been abused in the past and she has a lot of bad experiences, her heart and just sheer will to please her rider is what's taken us so far. I am so glad that I took the chance on this little horse, and she turned out to be more than I ever expected her to. So if you can take a chance, then do it, even though the horse seems kind of impossible, and even though people might criticize you and tell you that, like, what are you doing? The first few months, no one really believed in her because she looked bad, she behaved bad, and she was just not really a horse you would buy as a jumper prospect. But, look at her now. Look at this flat work. That is like the biggest difference ever.